Hi folks, welcome back to yet another edition of Straight Talk with OBERT GUTU on YouTube. And today we want to talk about the recent election that was held in the United States of America, to be precise, on Tuesday, November the 3rd, 2020. Why we would like to discuss that topic is because it has been a very interesting election. It has been an election like has never happened before in the United States of America. The United States being one of the superpowers in this world. We know that almost more than 2 weeks after the holding of the election in the United States, there is still several issues that are outstanding to the extent that the incumbent, President Donald Trump 45, has refused to acknowledge that he has lost to Mr. Joseph Biden Jr. And right now, you would realize that the United States is in a state of I wouldn't want to call it instability as such, but I would say it's in a very unusual space, like has never happened before in the recent history of the United States. We are having an election that President Donald Trump has openly and consistently claimed to have been rigged in favor of Mr. Biden. And he has raised several issues, as you know. His legal teams, led by his longtime friend and colleague, Rudy Giuliani, his legal teams have been filing suits in several states, states like Michigan. I think they've also filed suit in Arizona, and I believe that they've also say that they may also file legal suit in Georgia, although we know that the votes are still being counted in Georgia. And you are having all this situation where various allegations have been raised by the Trump team, attacking the legitimacy of the recent election in the United States. And these are some of the things that we want to discuss today, to say, look, many a time we've had issues of contested or disputed elections, and mostly this has happened in the developing world, to be more specific, in Africa and in our own country, Zimbabwe. And then we say, look, why is it now that for the very first time, at least we've openly had an incumbent, President of the United States of America, arguably the most powerful nation in the world, coming out to say elections have been rigged against him, so that he does not get the second term that he so much desired. And these are some of the lessons that we learn, especially in the history of the management of elections, to say it is not only in Africa that elections are disputed, because there is this notion that the United States is the paragon of liberties, is the paragon of human rights, is the paragon of the holding of free and fair elections, etc., etc., etc. That actually is just hot air. It's just propaganda. Because when you look at it, no election under the sun, no election run by human beings made of flesh and blood can be perfect. I mean, that is standard. So I always wonder to say, we are quick as Africans to say, elections in Africa are rigged, elections are disputed, elections are manipulated. And we tend to want to believe that the Western world is the paragon of electoral and democratic virtue. That is wrong. So I believe that these are some of the things that we then have to learn from. To say, if the United States itself, the superpower, the world's most powerful military nation with a devastating and mean military machine, is having these kind of disputes around their own election, we should derive very valuable lessons to say, why are we then as Africans, particularly Zimbabweans, just quick to go out there and start lambasting our own country, lambasting our own electoral system, and going to these Western countries like, literally on our knees, begging to say, we want your guidance, we want to be taught how to run elections. I mean, that is humiliating. So I believe that what has happened in the United States of America is a good lesson to us in Africa, particularly us Zimbabweans, to say, look, we have got a lot to learn as human beings in how to manage elections. And that this notion to say elections are better managed in Western countries is wrong. These countries, I'm talking of the United States, they are already having serious problems, because come January 20, Joseph Biden is supposed to be inaugurated or sworn in as the 46th president of the United States of America, but they are having these problems where the incumbent is even refusing to allow a smooth transition from Trump 45 to Biden 46. These are some of the things that we then have to look at ourselves and say, why do we always as Africans think that the Western world is there to teach us on how to govern ourselves? That the Western world is the so-called paragon of democracy. That's a lie. So these are some of the things that really I want us to look at, I want us to unpack, and I want us to candidly discuss and debate, and then say, look, what can we as Africans then learn from what is happening in the United States? What lessons can we derive from what is currently happening in the United States? Well, folks, that is what I have for you today. I would like you to think about this topic, sleep over it, debate it amongst yourselves, and see how then we can perfect our electoral systems as the developing world. My name is OBERT GUTU. I'm the senior and founding partner of GUTU and Chikaoero Attorneys at Law, headquartered in Harare, beautiful city of Harare, in Zimbabwe, Southern Africa. I'm also the former Deputy Minister of Justice and Legal Affairs in the Republic of Zimbabwe. You may want to click the subscribe button after watching this short video. You may also want to follow me on Twitter. My Twitter handle is @GUTU_OBERT. You may also want to follow me on Facebook. My official Facebook page is OBERT GUTU. On LinkedIn, OBERT GUTU. You may also want to follow me on Instagram, OBERT GUTU. Thank you, folks. Enjoy yourselves. Work hard for yourselves. Work hard for your families. Work hard for your communities. Work hard for your country. Work hard for humanity. Thank you very much. Asante sana.